Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101. We'll call it a Sunday night football, Monday night football, and Tuesday night football game recap show. We'll break down all four games in just a moment. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Monday night. It was from the Monday night game football recap show trivia question. Here it is, and it's a Bills trivia question. Buffalo Bills. Who holds the franchise record for career rushing yards? I will have the answer later in the podcast. Well, we'll look at the Sunday night football game. I'll go over that one first. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Denver Broncos 22-16 at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Chiefs are now 11-1 on the season. Patrick Mahomes had yet another 300-plus yard game, his fifth consecutive such game, though it was only his second game of the season where he had failed to get multiple touchdowns, not of his own fault, of course. Next up, the Chiefs face the Miami Dolphins. We'll face. So I'll give you that in a minute, but I'm gonna break down that game right now. I'm gonna give you the highlights of that one. And the Chiefs rallied to beat them, actually, 22-16 to beat the Broncos. Here are the highlights. The first quarter, the Broncos got to as close as the Denver 42-yard line. They kicked and the 12 players. They kicked a 53-yard field goal. McManus did, and it was good, and it was 3-0 Denver at the end of the first quarter. And then the Chiefs got as close as the Denver 58-yard line. They kicked a 35-yard field goal, and it was good. Butker's field goal was good, and it was tied at 3 at the end of the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Broncos scored their first touchdown of the game. Drew Lock's pass, short left to Tyrone Patrick for the 5 yard. Tyrone Patrick for the 5 yards touchdown. And the extra point was good, and it was 10-3 Denver. The Kansas City Chiefs got as close as the Denver 54, and they kicked a 24-yard field goal. Butker's field goal was good, and it was 10-6 Denver. Then actually Denver had intercepted the ball in the first quarter, and then they had the punt, but then it was Denver got that field. And now after that, Denver tried to the Chiefs. Denver missed a field goal. They had a field goal missed by 28 yards by McManus. So then the Chiefs got the ball back, and they got as close as the 48, the Denver 48, and Butker kicked a 23-yard field goal, and it was 10-9 Denver at halftime. And that was quite surprising. In the third quarter, the KC got the ball back, I believe. I'm going to have to look at the KC kicked the field goal because they gotten the ball back, after I guess Denver had to go 3 and out. They had to punt. So, and they got as close as the Denver 62-yard line, and Butker kicked a 31-yard field goal, which was good, and it was 12-10 KC. And then Denver scored their second touchdown of the game. Drew Lock's pass short to Tim Patrick. I think it's Tim Patrick, excuse me. And for the 10-yard touchdown, and then the 2-point conversion, went for a 2-point conversion, but Lock's pass to Tim Patrick, it was incomplete and it failed, and it was 16-12. Then the Kansas City Chiefs scored their first touchdown of the game, and Patrick Mahomes passed deep left to Travis Kelce for the 20-yard touchdown. There was a penalty on Denver. I think it was Damon Walker, or Dan Walker, excuse me. It was a defensive offside, which was declined, but Butker's field goal was good, and it was 19-16. And in the fourth quarter, finally, Denver intercepted the ball, and then Denver had the punt. They went 3 and out, and then KC got the ball back, and they got as close as the Denver 60-yard line. Butker kicked a 48-yard field goal, and it was good, and it was 22-16. But then Denver intercepted the ball, and then KC got it back and took a kneel. Nonetheless, the Broncos win. The Chiefs win, 22-16. So I got to give credit to where credit is due, and I got to give the game balls to the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes, 25 of 40 carries and attempts, 218 yards, 1 touchdown pass, no interceptions. Le'Veon Bell, 11 carries, 40 yards, no touchdowns. He didn't score a touchdown. Travis Kelce, 8 receptions, 136 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, next up, the Chiefs face the Miami Dolphins in Miami at Hard Rock Stadium, who have won 7 of their last 8 games, though their one loss was to the Denver Broncos in a 20-13 game. Moving on, the 1972 Miami Dolphins are breathing a sigh of relief because the Washington football team handed the Pittsburgh Steelers their first loss of the season. The Washington football team beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 23-17 at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh on Monday night, in the early Monday night game, which means the Steelers are no longer undefeated. And then there were no undefeated teams in the NFL. Well, confusion reigned in the closing seconds of the first half of Monday's game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Washington football team, and apparently, a savvy move by Alex Smith may have earned Washington a field goal en route to its 23-17 upset, handing the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were undefeated, their first loss of the season. With Washington driving with no timeouts, trailing 14-0, Smith was sacked by, stepped in to it as the clock ran below 20 seconds. Washington was in field goal range at the Pittsburgh 31-yard line, but would have to rush its kicking team onto the field as Dustin Hopkins lined up for a kick. The clock ran down to 0, signaling the end of the first half, but the half was not over. Administrative issues led to more time on the clock. Referee John Husey turned on his microphone to announce that administrative issues led to the clock winding down and called for 8 seconds, and Hopkins sent the 49-yard field goal through the uprights for Washington's first points of the game. So what just happened? Fans, announcers, and even Fox's officiating expert, Dean Blandino, were all confused at what happened. Blandino gave his best effort to decipher the situation, explaining that in situations with running clocks, officials don't spot a K-ball, football used specifically for kicking. They instead placed the ball in play to be kicked as quickly as possible. That didn't explain what happened. Replay of the aftermath of the third down sack shed more light on the situation. After being tackled for a loss, Smith didn't have the football on the field. He carried it to the sideline as the kicking team took the field. Now, the referee did not know this, and they needed to look at this. But Washington did get their first points of the game, and it was they did put 8 seconds back, and that's what they had to do. So, needless to say, the Washington football team gives the Steelers, who are now no longer undefeated, their first loss of the season. So, but this was one of those games. Everybody thought the Steelers was going to win, but they got handed their first loss. So, and the Steelers scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. And first one was a pass to Damon Johnson for 7 yards. For the actually was a 3-yard touchdown. Excuse me. The next point was good. It was 7-0 Steelers. Their second touchdown, Roethlisberger's pass to Jared Washington. It was 14-0 Steelers because the extra point was good. And then Washington kicked a field goal, and it was a 14-3 Steelers lead at the break. Washington finally got on the board in the third quarter. They finally scored a touchdown. Barber up the middle for the 1-yard touchdown. The extra Dustin Hopkins extra point was good, and it was 14-10 at the end of the third quarter. And in the fourth, Pittsburgh kicked a field goal, and Wright's field goal was good, and it was 17-10. And then Washington scored a touchdown. Alex Smith's pass to Lavelle Thomas, and it was tied at 17. And then Steelers had the punt and had to go 3 and out, and then Washington's got as close as the 45-yard line of Pittsburgh, 45, and then Dustin Hopkins kicked a 45-yard field goal, and it was good. It was 20-17, and then they kicked another field goal, and they were at the 2-yard line. They were minus 2 yards, and they got the 45-yard field goal was good by Dustin Hopkins. It was 23-17. Nonetheless, the Washington football team beats the Steelers 23-17, and the Steelers' undefeated season has come to an end. The game balls. Alex Smith, 31 of 46 carries and attempts, 296 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Peyton Barber, 14 attempts, 23 yards, 1 touchdown. Logan Thomas, excuse me, I meant to say Logan Thomas for that 1 touchdown. And he had 9 receptions, 98 yards, 1 touchdown, and that was in the second quarter and fourth quarter. James Washington. I meant to say James Washington for that 1 touchdown. So, but Washington got the game balls in that one. I will have the answer to the trivia question and I will go over the other 2 games in just a moment, but I've got to take a break and upload this first half. This will be a 2-part podcast, so I'll be right back. Stay with me. Stick around.